Okay. Hey, Mike. Can you guys hear me okay? I think we're live. I pushed the button, so I don't know what the delay is. Let's see. It says we got 5 people watching. Um, yeah. Hopefully we're good here. Oh, fantastic. Um, thanks for coming, Mike. I appreciate it. Um, Sorry if I'm a little slow here at some of this. I'm still trying to figure out restream and this live stream stuff. Usually, I'm on the other side of everything. um, I've been on a handful of live streams, but never my own. So this is it's a little different. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Hi, Ducato. How you doing? Um, Emperor's Choice is here too. Wow, we got actually people watching me. Uh, so yeah, fantastic. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm glad that this worked the first time that I said go, because I don't know what I would do otherwise. But yeah, fantastic. Um, so yeah, we got a live stream. I got a new channel, Game Master Rogers Neighborhood. Obviously, that's me because I'm Roger, right? Hi. Um, so this is the first live stream I'm running. Hopefully everything goes well. If it does, then we'll keep doing these in the future. If you don't see me again, then you can just assume that it went horribly, and I crawled into a burrow, and that's it. Um, there's a couple things that I wanted to go over tonight, other than just test the stream and make sure that I can figure out what I'm doing here. But um, I want to go over what this channel's for, which is right now. I wanted to start my own channel and do some things. What I'd like to do primarily with this channel is to use it to talk about RPG rules. And when I say rules, I don't mean like different systems and things like that, but I mean to talk about like different specific rules. Like maybe one day talk about Thaco and another day talk about like the torch timer from Shadow Dark or things like that. That's kind of the thing that I'm interested in, is just kind of talking about individual rules aside from the systems that they're connected to. So that's something that I'd like to do with this channel at some point. But that's not today. Today, I want to talk about mostly my secondary use for the channel, which is to discuss the Central New York role playing game convention. I know probably, I don't know, 75% of what I'm going to say has been mentioned to people here and there on different streams and whatnot. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll see if I can answer them and make that work. But yeah, so I just want to review first. Everybody, thanks for coming. For who was there to the first Central New York role playing game convention. We had a great time. I've heard no end of good about everything, um, and it's just been fantastic from everybody, from the guests to the vendors to the attendees and everybody. I spoke to every single vendor and every single guest, and every single one of them are planning on coming back next year. And then there's more people that I've been talking to as far as guests and vendors that want in, and we're trying to accommodate everybody that we can. So that's been great. So that'll be that next year. I think it's going to be fantastic. Um, so yeah, it was great. It was awesome. We ended up somehow, we actually did more than break even. We were in the black about $100 at the end of it, and that's which I've talked to a bunch of other convention runners, and they all say that is amazing to actually be in the positive at the end of the first year. And I'm not looking to do this to make money or anything like that. Everything that gets made in the end just goes into next year. It just gives us more spending money to buy. I think we need some better signage this year. We were kind of slacking on that. I just print up some black and white signs for the rooms and whatnot. But maybe for next year we can actually get some framed colored art or something like that. But yeah, so everybody, yeah, thanks for coming. Um, I don't know if I can click on some of these chat things. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Oh, I got to do it here. Oh, okay. That's how that works, right? Does that? Hey, there it goes. Okay. Sorry guys. I'm still trying to figure out all this stuff. So feel free to laugh at me. That's okay. Um, yeah, so yeah, Ducato, thanks for that. It definitely was a blast. I had a blast. Even though I really didn't get in any gaming or anything, I had an excellent time just running around and seeing everybody happy and all of that. It was absolutely fantastic. So I'm happy to do it every year. If every year uh, if every year it's half as good as it was, I am happy to do it for the next 40 or so years. I'll just keep doing it. Yeah. Um, so yeah, Mike. That I really think so. That was and we spoke, and that was one of my reasons for running it. As I was thinking, man, there's nothing here, and and I'm glad that it worked out, and it wasn't like, oh well, there's not one here because it won't work. So that turned out really really well, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully going forward, everything's just perfect. Um, so about that, looking ahead, I've talked to a lot of the vendors, all of the special guests, and all my staff. We've sat down, we've talked about things to change and different things that we want to do for next year. And so, and everything went perfect, obviously this year, but there's always room for improvement, right? So we're always trying to change a little bit and just make things a little bit better. So what's changing? So first, let me see if I can do this without. Here's our flyer, and this I think is the first time that anything other than my staff has seen this. So this is the flyer for next year, and yeah, Emperor's Choice. You guys were absolutely a blast. It was a great time. It was absolutely fantastic. Um, So flyer for next year, as you'll know right away, the colors changed, right? We went from red to blue. So I'll leave people to guess what the third year color is going to be. But I think mostly everybody here is going to figure out this color scheme pretty quick. Um, if you'll notice, it's 3 days, June 12th, 13th, and 14th. So obviously, we were previously on a 2-day format, which I really enjoyed because I really liked I like the idea of having a convention that was Saturday, Sunday. And so this way people didn't have to take extra time off from work and whatnot. So Friday, we're going to do a sort of a short day. We're going to start late on Friday. My plan is to open at about 3 p.m. And then have one game slot from 4 to 8 on Friday, and then after that, um, oh, thank you, Bloodworth. I appreciate that. I hope that I can make it to every year to CNY as well. And and Ducato, yeah, we'd love to see you. Love to see all you guys there. It's been yeah, it was really a great time. And I hope to see you guys every year. So yeah, so as far as Friday night, we wanted to do one game slot. It's going to open at 3, do a game slot from 4 to 8, and then my plan is to do a meet and greet uh, at um, at somewhere around 8:30. So we're going to do a movie meet and greet from 8:30 to 10:30, and now for this, I'm gonna have all the vendors close, and we're gonna have half the room is gonna be lights off, and then the back half of the room, the lights will be on, so people will be able to mingle and whatnot. And I've got a popcorn machine coming, and I got a guy that's going to hand out popcorn and stuff, and we're going to watch a movie. So I know I talked to a couple of you guys. Um, I think I maybe talked to half a dozen people about movie, and they at least three of them said the same movie that I was thinking. So we're gonna go with Conan the Barbarian to watch. We're going to put that on the projector. Like I said, Friday night, and it's popcorn, which is going to be free with admittance. I'm not going to charge movie theater pricing for for popcorn. But yeah, I think that'll be great. We'll have the movie going, and everybody will have a meet and greet. I specifically want to do it with in the other room and have the vendors close so that everybody can kind of just have time to mingle. And I don't want the vendors to have to worry about they still have to run their booth, or if somebody wants to buy something or whatever. I don't want to put that pressure. I just want everybody to hang out and have a great time. That's all. So now the Conan the Barbarian. Um, yeah, Mike, Robin Hood Men in Tights. That was on the short list. That was on the short list, but eventually, good taste prevailed, and we went with Conan the Barbarian. Although I will say, Robin Hood Men in Tights is probably a little more kid friendly than Conan the Barbarian. And I didn't really think about that until people started mentioning it, like maybe. So we're gonna have to put a disclaimer there, that says if you're 17 or younger or under 17, wherever that line is, you're going to have to be accompanied by an adult or have an adult's permission to be there. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen Conan. There's some parts that are probably not appropriate for the kiddies. So, I mean, I watched it when I was little, so I turned out okay, so it's probably fine, right? But yeah, so there's some kind of issues there, but I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Um, so yeah, so I just wanted to have some time just for people to hang out. Um, without the pressure of, hey, there's a game going on or something, or only having 5 or 10 minutes between a game to be able to go talk to somebody. So I figured doing a meet and greet where that's all it's for, where people can just hang out and talk. I thought that was something um, that would work out, great. Plus, we get to watch Conan the Barbarian with free popcorn, right? Well, I mean, included in the admission, right? So, yeah, Mike, yeah, everything was inappropriate when we were little. Yeah. There was a lot of that. There was a lot less regulation, but I think we turned out fine from all that, right? I mean, I don't have any long lasting effects from any of that stuff. I don't think. But but yeah, so I definitely wanted to make room for that. Another thing that we're doing because of that, and I wanted to have some more time, is we're going to leave a half an hour before game sessions, or between game sessions rather. So, um, so we're going to have to start a little bit earlier, which I know that was a minor complaint from some people. They wanted to start gaming at 9 instead of 10, how I had it. So we're going to push. We're going to have our first session on Saturday is going to be at 9 a.m. and then go from 9 to 1, and then have a half hour break in between, just in case somebody goes over or whatever, give time people to eat and whatnot. And then the second session on Saturday is going to be from 1:30 to 5:30, and then from 5:30 to 6:30 there's going to be a break. It's going to be a 1 hour break, and that's when we're going to do the auction. I know some people were disappointed that they were in a game and they couldn't get to the auction, or they had to cancel their game because they wanted to see the auction, whatever. So we're just going to do the auction in the main ballroom. And I this way everybody can participate. None of the vendors have to worry about leaving the room or anything like that. This way everybody can kind of be involved, and there won't be gaming going on at that time. So that'll be 5:30 to 6:30 on Saturday, and then we'll do 6:30 to 10:30 as a final game session. And then on Sunday we're just going to do the two game slots, starting at 9 and then ending at about 6 p.m. On Sunday. So that's really what the schedule looks like. So, um, the basket raffle and the scavenger hunt, those went over fantastically. So we're definitely going to stick with with doing those, probably the same way that we did. Um, Bloodworth, yeah, Conan the Barbarian, 1982 director's cut. Uh, I am not sure. I have a Blu-ray, 2-disc Blu-ray of Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. I don't remember whether it's the director's cut or what version it is. And I don't have it. I don't have it here. So I yeah. So I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. Is the director's cut worth it? Is that something extra in there that I should know about, or is it more kid friendly, less kid friendly? What are we talking about? Um, so yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, so all the guests, I talked to every special guest that was there, and they all plan on coming back next year. So I think that's gonna be great. They're all planning on coming back. Plus, hopefully we'll have. I'm looking at maybe three more. Most definitely two more. Maybe three or four more. I'm not sure yet. I don't want to say names. I don't want to jinx it yet. But everybody who was there this year is definitely coming. And yeah, Bloodworth, yeah, I'll be running Modifius, Conan 2D20, and AD&D 1E Conan Unchained in a second session. That's awesome. um, so we're gonna try and I'm not gonna force it on people, but movie Friday, I'm gonna see if anybody has any Conan stuff if they want to run that on Friday and just maybe make it a Conan theme night or something like that. Um, so I don't know if anybody wants to walk around shirtless and oiled with a big sword or something. I just get with me and we'll make it happen. I guess I don't know. So long as we're not scaring the children, we don't want to do that. Um, but yeah. So I mean, I think that'll be a big hit. People seem to be excited about that. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know. If you think we should do something different or whatever. And maybe we'll change it in future years. Do something different. I don't know. Um, if you got any other movie ideas or anything like that. So I'd be happy to hear that. Um, so yeah, that's what we're looking at. Less kid friendly. Yes. Yeah, so maybe we don't go with that version then if that's I don't know which one they put on the Blu-ray. So we'll have to we'll all be surprised together. I think it was rated R, I think originally. I don't know if the director's cut, if it's a no rating or anything like that, but um yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what version I have then, and maybe I'll have to, watch it beforehand just to make sure. Maybe take the scissors to some bits and make sure that it all works out, so nobody gets angry for seeing anything they're not supposed to. Um, but so yeah, and then we we've spoken to a handful of people, um, guests, some of the attendees, vendors, whatnot, about the number of people, and we kind of came to the decision that so this past year we had 202 people total. So, for next year, we're gonna cap it at 300 is gonna be our cap. So, um, if we hit our cap, it'll actually be more than that because I'm just planning on having 250 weekend badges and the 50 VIP badges. So that's that total 300. So really, staff, special guests, and vendors will be added on top of that. So so really, we'll be closer to 330 or something like that. 330, 340, somewhere around there will actually be our max. I don't know if we'll actually hit the cap. And we've had a lot of discussions in house, and I really love a small convention. Um, I do make it out to some of the larger conventions, but primarily those I go to just see the vendors, and what they have, and just see what products are coming out, and to see some of the bigger companies. Um, and just see what they got coming down the pike, or to play test, a new game or something like that. I don't go to like game as much. I think the smaller conventions are the better ones because it makes it a lot easier to see like the special guests and whatnot. And that was part of my big thing of starting this is the guest availability. You go to some conventions, and the guests aren't available, or they're hidden away somewhere, or what kills me about some conventions, they're locked behind a paywall, which I was adamant. I've said this to numerous people. I don't want anybody to have to pay for anything. Well, I mean, obviously you gotta buy a badge, right? I mean, we gotta try and break even and cover our costs, obviously, but I know that some conventions you can pay, you know, $2, $3, $4, $10, $2,500, whatever it is for a seat in somebody's game, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have special guests and say, oh, you got to pay to see this person, or pay to be in this room with them, or whatever. I want everything to be covered by the badge, and that's kind of been my philosophy with the whole thing. And I don't know. I don't think that we'd ever have a guest that's big enough that would warrant me to say, "Oh, let's charge for this person," because I don't know. I don't know if I'd want that. I just want everybody to have the same access. Now, obviously, the VIP badge, when you get that, uh, you get the goodie bag, and you get a week ahead of everybody else to sign up for games. But I really don't think I want to go down the road of having uh, VIP, special VIP only games, or anything like that. I don't know what you guys think of that. That's kind of my opinion on all that. And if enough people say no, Raj, you're wrong, do it. We should have a, a paid game to play with certain people or whatever. Then maybe we'll talk about it. But those are kind of my thoughts um, on the on that subject there. So, but yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with everything here. I know that a lot of people have asked when we're planning on opening everything up, for vendor signups, bad purchases, the game registration, things like that. Um, I kind of decided I really didn't want to start pushing um, right after. Like, I didn't want to be like the weekend of the convention and then say, "Oh, hey, sign up for next year." Like, I just I mean, I'm all about signing up for things early ahead of time, and having stuff laid out. So I didn't want to be a few months before. I know some of the smaller conventions do that. So I figured we go out to the 9 month mark. And so that puts us at September 12th is my plan on opening up um, registration and um, vendor signups and the game signups, provided that tabletop events works fine. Yeah, Dave, thanks. Thanks for agreeing with me. um, yeah, it was kind of a decision that I made. That's kind of the way I feel about it. I think a lot of people feel about it. Yeah, Ducato, yeah, same, exactly. I don't like I said, I don't I don't want to call out some of these conventions that do that, but I think we're all aware of some of them that do. And I don't know. I don't want to be. I want people to say, you know what, we can go there. It costs this to get there, and that's it. I don't want to say, hey, thanks for giving me, 40 bucks, but also if you want to do this, now you have to give me more money and all of that. I don't I wouldn't want that, so um so that's it, so I think that's where we're at. And yeah, and I think September 12th, that's going to be the day that everything gets opened up. Like I said, provided tabletop events, cooperates fully. So I think I think that covers everything on my small list of notes here that I went through. What do you guys got? Do you guys have any questions about the convention, or any questions about running it, or anything that you're dying to know about me, or anything like that? Um, you know, can't wait. Yeah, it's interesting. It's it was 2 months ago, right? Not even 2 months ago, and I'm super excited uh for next year, you know. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see everybody again, and I think it's just going to be awesome. Um yeah, Emperor's Choice. Yeah, keep it friendly and fun. The money will come from an increase in attendees. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I want to do, is just keep it friendly and fun. Um uh no pay equals community pays. I'm too important and desperate for dollars. Yeah. Yeah, and that's really something that I wanna shy away from. And, I've made mention of this before, that anything that, like, I'm not doing this for the money. Like, this $100 that we made, like, that just went right back into the convention. We're gonna use it to buy stuff. Any money that's extra that gets made is just gonna get rolled over into, something for next year. I mean, I'm more than willing to go all out so long as it's there. I mean, I'm even willing to go extra. Um, I even said this to a handful of people already. Like, Saturday, seeing how awesome that everything was and that everything went. Uh, I was content to, if it cost me $2,000 out of pocket to run the convention every year, I would gladly do it. We had it was that much fun for me, and it's something that I can do for you guys, the gaming community, right? Like, just seeing everybody being super excited and happy and gaming, and just everybody smiling, and it was awesome, right? And um, yeah, it warms my heart, but yeah, no, it was just fantastic. We're ready to go next month. Yeah. Um, yeah, and you guys, Emperor's Choice and Mike, with Thunderstruck, I know they're in the chat. You guys are phenomenal, and obviously, we love to have you guys back. Um, and yeah, I can't wait for it. Um, we've got some things that we're working on in the background. I don't know how much that I want to say, because we are only at the 10-month mark, but we we've had some vendors and some people do team up on some things, and we're going to have some cool things for the auction next year. How about that? We'll say that, and then maybe we can do some pictures next time, or maybe if we do an update next month when we go live, when everything goes live on September 12th, maybe we'll do some pictures of some of the auction stuff. But we'll see where we're at. But yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. Yeah, Mike, I can't wait to see you there. I think that everybody had a great time. Like I said, every single vendor came up to me afterwards, and they all want back in. Um, and so the way we're going to work that for you guys, and I think I discussed this with most of you guys already, the vendors in the chat here, but uh, when I open up the vendor slots, I plan on offering you guys your spot back. So you guys will have priority to say yes, I want to be in the same spot, or no, and then we'll go from there. But I think that's the best fair way to do it. I don't want anybody, um, I mean, you guys stuck with me, right? You guys showed up and believed in me, and and whatnot for the first year. So I mean, I think that's the least I can do, is to hold your spot for you guys, and this way we can just go from there. So yeah, if you guys want your same spot back, yeah, I'm more than happy to give it to you guys. And we've got some other vendors that want in, and I think we're gonna do some table juggling and whatnot, and we're gonna try and make it work. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a blast. So yeah, oh yeah, so that's the flyer. If I click this, will this go back to showing the chat on the screen? Hey, there it is. Okay, I'm figuring this out. Um, uh, oh yeah, you got some things for the auction too. That's fantastic. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. I want to try and build that up. I've got some things too. Um, it's hard to tell from this background here, but I know some of you have seen the full bookshelf here and the other book piles that I have floating around, and I'm kind of out of space, so I think I'm gonna have to start pulling some stuff off of my shelf, and that stuff is gonna go to the auction as well. So there's really uh, it's either that or we're gonna have to start taking over more rooms for gaming. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work out so well with the rest of the family. I only have so much space up here to do what I got to do. But yeah, that's kind of where that is. So I'm definitely going to have some things for the auction. I'm waiting for. I should have a starter set. For the Castles and Crusades starter set that just came out. They they sent me one of the standard edition. They were supposed to send me two of the deluxe. Is that what they're calling it? I think the deluxe version. Um, and so I'm waiting for them to send that out. So we'll see how that goes. But if I have both of those, I'm planning on putting one of those in the auction. So it'll be signed and in there. So that'll be cool. And I got some duplicate books and whatnot. So yeah, I think that'll be really really exciting. So yeah, so that's yeah, so that'll be great. And like I said, the auction, I think we'll be better off running it in a spot where there's no games. Um, between 5:30 and 6:30 on Saturday, which I think we had it at 5. I think this past year, and so I think that'll go over better if it's in the main room, and then this way everybody can participate. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's my thought. I don't know if it'll disrupt anything or if it'll make it harder, but um, we'll see. I guess. I don't know. I know Emperor's Choice. I know both of their guys were in the auction. Um, what did you guys think? What did you guys just leave your booth open, or you had a couple extra people that showed up on Saturday, right? That were running game, right? Then they probably were taking a look at the booth. So yeah. You think so? Having it? I mean, we'll see, right? I mean, the worst that can happen is that it fails miserably, and we change it in the years going forward. So, but yeah, I think everything went pretty well, and I think you walk from the booth, yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, yeah, you walked away from the booth. So you just left it unattended and came in the auction room just to participate in the auction. But you guys are wonderful. Um, yeah, Mike, you got the kid to run the booth for you. That's fantastic. So, but yeah, so I think having it in the room, I think it'll be a little bit better. But like I said, we'll see. I'm a little worried that it's going to be too much going on in there. But I don't know. We'll see. If there's no games going on, I think it'll be fine. Um, the floor is safe. Yeah. So it's yeah. So um, I think that's really all I got. I'm trying to think of what else that I could say about what we've got coming up in other things. Um, I really don't want to mention anything. Like I said, um, our four guests are definitely coming back. Um, they definitely want back in, and I absolutely welcome them with open arms. So Joe Block, Greg Gillespie, Unscripted and Unchained, Bloodworth, and Eric Tenkar, they're obviously they're welcome back anytime. uh Tenkar actually said that he'd be willing to show up a day early and help move tables. So I mean, you can't ask for more than that with a special guest. So, um, so that's fantastic, and a lot of people did. I don't want to make it sound like it was just him. A lot of people said that they'd help out moving tables, and the hotel did a wonderful job at setting up and all of that. So we did pretty good. Although we did move all the tables. I know my staff. Um, and I moved tables the day before. Um, we moved probably every table in the main ballroom about a foot, like 10 times, just making sure that it was perfect. But um, I think for next year we're going to pull one table out of the main ballroom, and that'll give us a little more walking room around there. So, but yeah. Um, I mentioned it to you before, but I have someone might be interested in attending. He has some Shadow Dark published adventures coming out and would run them at the con. We'll talk about it. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I love that plan. Um, let's yeah, definitely talk to me about it. Um, what's the guests were all good people? Absolutely, yeah, yeah, they were fantastic. Um, Something to consider. Place auction items in the hallway near registration until before the auction. This week is most exposure. Yeah, yeah. You know what, Dave? That's a great idea. Uh, actually, that is because um, I was considering having them just up at like the head of the room. But yeah, um, yeah. No, I think that's fine. Um, because we can yeah, I don't think moving them around is gonna be an issue. I mean, we did that with the basket raffle. We had them just sitting there, and then we moved them into the room, um, for, overnight. But yeah, I think that'll be fine. Um, we can just have it, and then when it's time to do the auction, we'll have table space, um, and we can just take over one of the tables near where the mic is and just bring everything to there, and that'll be fine. Um, Yeah, Mike, absolutely. Shoot me a message or have him shoot me a message or do a group chat, whatever you want to do. Um, Definitely, yeah. Let's let's have a discussion with them and see where it goes. Um, so yeah, it'd be it'd be cool. So I'm interested in that. Yeah, yeah. The more the merrier, right? Well, till we hit 300 or so, and then I think we'll start to run out of space. But yeah, uh, on that note, the space considerations we've had some discussions internally, and I think there's a little bit of debate, but I think we can get. I think at the current location, we would max out at around 400 people. Like I think that would be our absolute top end. Um, so and I've talked about it, and I don't know if I want to grow any larger than that. And obviously, I mean, we'll see what happens, but the venue was a great place, and if everything works out next year, um, I mean, I just plan on keep doing it, at the same place. And if we've got a limit attendance, then I don't want to grow um, to be really really huge. I really don't want this convention to be that. I really want it to be, a smaller, more personal level kind of convention. So so I really think, and I'm not saying that we're going to hit that max anytime soon. I mean, if we hit 300 next year, it'd be absolutely crazy if we grew that big. Um, so I think that I think we'll hit 250 next year, and maybe 300 the year after that. So I really think that for the next for the first 5 years anyway, I think we won't outgrow this venue. So I think that we'll be good with that, and then at that point we can reassess. Um, but obviously we've only got a 1 year track record with the hotel. But yeah, the venue's perfect. It was absolutely fantastic. They were great. They were great to deal with for doing setup and everything else. And I went in there. I know I've made mention of this, I think, on some of the other live streams, but um, I went in that hotel probably uh, 2 dozen times before the convention with my digital tape measure and a tape measure, and moved tables around and took measurements and jot down notes and just everything, just to do the layout, and made sure that everything was just perfect. um because I was so nervous um about everything going off without a hitch and everything. So I just kept going back, like, oh, is this going to be close, is this going to be close? um uh, Maybe, and realistically, uh, Emperor's Choice was to blame for probably like 4 of those times I went in there, but but that's it. I don't want to blame any more than me measuring the thing 4 times on them. Um, but you guys know, if you know, right? But yeah, so I think the venue's great. We're planning on staying there, and like I said, if we got a cap at 400, I don't want to double every year. Yeah, those space hog vendors. Yeah, the space hog vendors. Um, 18 feet. That's it. That's all you guys get. That's it. That's all I got to give. 18 feet. I get. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to ask the hotel if they can take a wall out. I think if you guys want to expand, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Um, so maybe I don't know. I guess if we bring them enough business, they'll be okay with it, right? Um, so yeah. So that's the plan, is to stay there at least for the next handful of years. 18, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah. Yeah, so, that's that. Um, I don't know what else I can say. Do you guys got any questions for as far as anything that you want to know about the go behind, anything that goes on behind the scenes of running a convention, or because I can tell you it's not like some big secret thing. It's at least for this convention, it was me running around trying to figure everything out. Most of my staff trying to help me out, and me just being frantic about everything, and them just being absolutely amazing and just going with me on everything. And so the staff was just great. So yeah, so that those I couldn't ask for a better group of people to help me run the thing. Uh, Jason, Andrew, Joe, um, Nabil, obviously my wife Jean and my daughter Chloe were absolutely fantastic. My wife ran the registration booth, and she said she's never going to do it again, but I think I convinced her to do it next year with help. With help, she's got to have help. So, um, yeah, 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 definitely. The kitchen taking orders from the floor was really nice. Please keep that going. Yeah, absolutely. No, that was the only way I was able to eat. So, you know, um, that was one of the things that we had discussed with the hotel, and they were perfectly fine with doing it. They said, "Yeah, we'll do a lunch menu and come out and take orders." And they loved it. They told me that they made a lot of money um doing it, both lunch on Saturday and lunch on Sunday. So, oh, this is yeah, that's my wonderful wife, everybody. It's my wife, Jean. Everybody say hi and tell her what a fantastic job she did running registration, and that and that no one else can replace her. Please, please tell her that. Um, yeah, if you create a new badge program, maybe, yeah. Um, I I'm not on that. Someone else is on that. That's Don Samora, Wizard Tower Games. He's doing it. I believe this year or next year for WizardCon, and then he's definitely planning on opening it up to the public and letting some other conventions and stuff use the system that he's building. So um, I am more than happy to figure that out. Um, yeah, bottom line, you and everyone did a fabulous job. Yeah, it was like you guys had done this for years. Yeah, and well, you know, it's funny, George. Like I feel like I've been doing it for years because and I think I really have like, and you know, my buddy Jason and I, we go to several conventions, right? And every single convention that we go to, every time we go, we're always talking about it because usually we've got a 4 to 6 hour ride home, so we always sit down, and then even the next day, we talk for hours and hours about what was good, what was bad, and so really like when he convinced me to start this, it was like, okay, let's just mentally go through this list. What's everything from every convention that we've been to? Like, what are the bad things, and what are the good things? And that's kind of how we got to where we are now. And and I think that's why it feels, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I will a little bit, sure, but no, but that's realistically, that was that was how we did it. So it really wasn't me, it was everyone else's. What's the saying in the scientific community? um well, if I have seen far further is because I've stood on the shoulders of giants, right? So all these other people for years have made, you know, they've perfected everything, made the right choices, and made mistakes so that I can learn from them. So we can really blame them. Yeah. See, Ducato says hi. George says you were the best, Gene. Yep. And Dave, yep. Fantastic job running registration. No one else can replace you. See, look at that. Look at that. And they're not saying that just so that I'll give them 2 extra feet. I know it. Um and Bloodworth, yeah, see. No, and I think these they really mean it, Gene. I really think that you did a fantastic job handling registration. Um, so, yeah, no, it's, that's, that's kind of that, right? So, yeah, I mentioned you, that's my daughter. It's my daughter, Chloe, everybody. Um, so, she was a big help too, and she was a big support in everything that we did. So that was part of it. So, yeah. Um, but and I mean, it was really, all of you guys, everybody that showed up, right? Everybody that came to the convention, like um, they're the ones that made it happen. Um, so Chloe and I, Chloe and I have super secret plans. We're trying to get Roger to let us do it, so I'd be busy. Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah. But yeah, no, I think it like I said, it went absolutely perfect, and everything was great. So, um, yeah. So I don't know if you guys got anything else. If there's anything else you guys want to say, to me, or any questions, comments, concerns, um, anything else. Like that, then I'm absolutely open to that. Otherwise, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Your daughter did a great job too. Yeah, she was wonderful. Really, my staff, all of them did a great job. Every time I would run around, I would go up to somebody on my staff and say, "Hey, make sure that the vendors have water and everything." And um, they were like, "I just gave them water," and then I'd be like, do it again." Or, just to make sure everybody was happy. And yeah, they were handing out water like crazy. And, so, um, yeah, they really put up with me being, just absolutely crazy, for the whole weekend. So I really appreciate that. Thanks guys. But, but yeah, if, like I said, if there's nothing else, then we'll wrap this up. We're almost at the hour mark. Um, I don't know. I hope you guys had a good time listening to me talk about convention planning and all of that. Um, yeah, Dave. The entire group staff was outstanding. Yes, they kept us water. Yeah, it was great. Plus snacks were cool. Yeah, yeah. Um, we like snacks, So, um, whatever we can do to help you, please let us know. We truly mean that. Yeah, absolutely. No, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. Um, like I said, there's a handful of vendors that were with me from the beginning, um, and you guys, Emperor's Choice, Mike at Thunderstruck, the Treehouse Bookstore, um, you guys you guys were just there from the beginning, regardless of uh, whether money was going to be made or whatever. However, the situation was, you guys are just like, yeah, let's do it. We're there for you. Um, to help grow this local thing. Aaron from Dreamcastle Gaming, he was in from just after the start. of planning and whatnot. I mean, so it was just Ravenswood, the comic shop. Al from Ravenswood was was in before, even when we were talking about this, like a year and a half ahead of time. He helped me get the logo done and everything else and the original flyer and stuff. So um, just they were just a great help. And yeah, it was just I'm just so glad. So if there's anything that we can do, for you guys, I'm happy to to do it, because and you guys get bragging rights, right? To say, hey, we were here from year one, and maybe I should do that. Have a tier or something for vendors, like a year one tier and then a year two, or like depending on when people came in, right? Maybe they get like a gold border or something on there. I don't know. We'll figure that out, I guess. I don't know. I'm just ranting now, but um but yeah, guys. So um thanks, thanks everybody for coming to listen to me. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. I like talking and having people listen to me. So that's that's how I roll. And I'm gonna try and get on next week and do something. I'm gonna try and figure out somebody that can jump on with me, and we'll just discuss some kind of rule in a game. I got a whole list yet to pick from, so I'm not quite sure where we'll go, but yeah, I think I think we're going to do that, and I'm going to try and do a weekly thing. And then as far as the convention updates go, I'm going to try and do that monthly going forward. So that'll be mean that means you get 9 more of these kind of convention updates. I'll try and keep them separate from the regular channel stuff, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm new to all this, so hopefully hopefully all this worked. Yeah. Um so thanks everybody for coming, and we'll yeah. Thanks George, Dave. Thank you guys for all coming. Uh, so I'm going to try and end this without cutting myself off. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you guys next week, or on the Discord, or on the Facebook page. Take care, everybody. Bye.